Hi guys, I just want to kind of vent here for a moment and explain to you things I have to go through on a daily basis and why it's such a struggle and where my frustrations come from, and taking it to social media seems to be the only thing that works.
May 2026. Los Angeles, California. A federal courtroom is buzzing with reporters, cameras, and security personnel. The case being unsealed today is unlike anything the true crime world has seen in years. It involves a TikTok influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. It involves a global pop star from the boy band Why Don't We? It involves a prominent Florida trial attorney. And it involves the dark web. The words that echo through the courtroom come from a recorded conversation. The voice is calm, calculated, cold. It would all be cheaper if Avery were dead. Those words were spoken by Francisco Gonzalez, a highly respected civil trial attorney from Central Florida. He wasn't talking about a legal settlement. He wasn't talking about a business negotiation. He was talking about the father of his own 7-year-old granddaughter. Pop singer Jack Avery. According to unsealed federal court documents filed just days ago in Los Angeles, this was not a passing comment. It was not a moment of anger. It was the thesis statement of a multi-year conspiracy that would eventually lead federal agents to execute simultaneous arrests across 2 different states. Between May 19 and May 21, 2026, the internet did not just witness a trending headline. It witnessed the total structural collapse of an elite family system. Gabriela Gonzalez, known to nearly 500,000 lifestyle and motherhood followers on TikTok as Gabbie Gonzalez, was arrested by federal agents in Humboldt County, California. She was standing inside the Arcadia Rica Airport terminal, preparing to board a flight, when the tactical team moved in. Simultaneously, over 2,000 miles away in Seminole County, Florida, a combined force of federal agents and local deputies swarmed the luxury estate of Francisco Gonzalez. The prominent trial attorney was arrested at his own home, awaiting extradition across state lines. The third co-conspirator, Faron Cordrey, was arrested separately. He was the boyfriend of Gabbie Gonzalez at the time the plot was hatched. He was the one who created the Lizard King 69 dark web profile. He was the one who typed the messages that would eventually be read aloud in a federal courtroom. The charge against all 3 of them is the same. A cold, calculated, multi-year conspiracy to use dark web networks, encrypted cryptocurrency payments, and a mercenary hitman to permanently execute Jack Avery over a bitter, obsessive child custody battle. Welcome to Solved and Echoed. I am Liz, your custodian of the evidence. Tonight, we are conducting a feature-length, 45-minute forensic audit of a case that is actively breaking across the globe right now. The arrests happened just days ago. The news cycle is still white-hot. People are searching for these names as you listen to this narration. We are pulling back the curtain on the official May 2026 criminal complaints. We are decoding the digital DNA of the $10,000 hidden wire transfers disguised as web development invoices. We are breaking down the horrifying details of the contract, including the terrifying detail where the conspirators explicitly requested the killer cut off Jack Avery's pinky finger as forensic proof of death. And we are auditing the ultimate fracture, the moment the dark web link crossed lines with an undercover federal agent posing as the executioner. Gabbie Gonzalez curated a digital world of perfect motherhood, organic travel, and clean aesthetics. She posted videos of her daughter. She posted photos of her travels. She built a brand around the idea of the strong, independent single mother. But beneath the filters lay a dark, predatory obsession with control. She believed that with enough family cash, enough dark web anonymity, and enough manipulation, she could completely erase a father from her child's life. She didn't realize that the FBI had been archiving her digital footprint for 5 years. Let me tell you why this case matters beyond the headlines. The Gabbie Gonzalez case represents a new kind of true crime story. It is not about a stranger in the bushes. It is not about a serial killer hunting at random. It is about the weaponization of the internet itself. This case involves a TikTok influencer who used her platform to build a public persona of loving motherhood while privately plotting murder. It involves a trial attorney who used his legal expertise to disguise criminal payments as legitimate business expenses. It involves a boyfriend who used the dark web to hide behind a fake username, thinking no one would ever trace his keystrokes. They were all wrong. And they are all in jail. Let's open the file. The story begins not on the dark web, but in the family court system of Los Angeles. Jack Avery and Gabbie Gonzalez met young. They welcomed their daughter Lavender into the world at the height of the boy band's global success. They were young. They were in love. They were starting a family. But like many young relationships, it did not last. They separated. On social media, Gabbie painted the picture of the resilient, independent co-parent. She posted travel vlogs. She curated lifestyle advice. She gained hundreds of thousands of views from young mothers who looked up to her independence. But inside the family court system, a completely different file was being generated. And that file would eventually lead federal agents to a dark web marketplace run by an undercover FBI agent. What the public did not see was the years of litigation. The endless court filings. The accusations. The counter-accusations. The legal fees that ran into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Gonzalez family was not just fighting for custody. They were fighting to erase Jack Avery entirely. And when the courts would not give them what they wanted, they decided to take matters into their own hands. They decided that murder was cheaper than continued litigation. They decided that a hitman was more efficient than a judge. They decided that the dark web was the solution to their problem. They were about to learn a very hard lesson about federal law enforcement. Let's continue. To understand how a 24-year-old social media influencer and her millionaire attorney father end up facing 25 years to life in a state penitentiary, you have to audit the anatomy of an obsession. In the public eye, the relationship between Gabbie Gonzalez and Jack Avery was standard celebrity culture. They met young. They welcomed their daughter Lavender into the world at the height of the boy band's global success. They eventually separated. On Instagram and TikTok, Gabbie painted the picture of the resilient, independent co-parent. She posted travel vlogs. She curated lifestyle advice. She gained hundreds of thousands of views from young mothers who looked up to her independence. But inside the family court system of Los Angeles, a completely different file was being generated. The May 2026 unsealed indictment reveals that behind the scenes, the Gonzalez family was locked in what psychologists call a hostile alienation syndrome. Gabbie and her father Francisco spent years filing continuous, aggressive court petitions portraying Jack Avery as unsafe, unfit, and harmful to their daughter. They attempted to utilize family court mechanisms to completely strip Avery of his parental rights. Let me explain what hostile alienation syndrome means. It is a pattern of behavior where one parent systematically undermines the other parent's relationship with their child. They make false accusations. They exaggerate minor incidents. They isolate the child from the other parent's family. They use the court system as a weapon. The Gonzalez family was accused of all of these behaviors. But the system did not give them what they wanted. Jack Avery fought back legally, maintaining joint custody and eventually securing full protective boundaries for his daughter. The court filings show that Jack Avery was not the absent father the Gonzalez family portrayed him to be. He attended parent-teacher conferences. He was present for birthdays. He paid child support. He fought for his rights as a father. And that is where the human fracture occurs. When a master manipulator is defeated by the legal system, they do not accept the ruling. They seek an alternative infrastructure. Witnesses interviewed by the FBI stated that the Gonzalez family became entirely consumed by hostility. Francisco Gonzalez, a man who built a multi-million-dollar career defending the law in Central Florida, allegedly stood in his home and stated that the family court system was broken. He said that it was taking too long. He said that it was costing too much money. And then he said the words that would eventually be played for a federal jury. It would be cheaper if Jack were simply dead. Think about the psychological inversion happening here. This was not a crime born of sudden rage. This was not a domestic dispute that turned physical in a hallway. This was a multi-year corporate strategy. The father and daughter sat down, analyzed a custody battle like a business loss, and decided that a human life was an expense that could be permanently liquidated. Francisco Gonzalez was not a criminal mastermind from the streets. He was a respected officer of the court. He had argued cases before judges. He had represented clients in civil disputes. He had taught younger attorneys how to practice law ethically. And he was now sitting in his living room, discussing the murder of his granddaughter's father as if it were a line item on a spreadsheet. In October 2020, the digital engine of this plot was officially turned on. Gabbie Gonzalez did not look for an exit from the conflict. She did not seek mediation. She did not try to co-parent peacefully. She looked for an engineer to build an execution. She turned to her then-boyfriend, 26-year-old Faron Cordrey. Cordrey was a digital consultant. He ran a small web development business called Site Whisperer. He knew how to navigate the dark web. He knew how to use encryption. He knew how to hide digital footprints. And together, they stepped onto the dark web. This is where the digital DNA of the conspiracy becomes a permanent forensic record. Investigators from the FBI's cybercrime division recovered a series of encrypted chats and tracking logs tied to a specific username on an illicit dark web marketplace. The username was LizardKing69. Federal agents tracked the active digital footprint of this profile across a prominent, hidden murder-for-hire forum that advertised professional contract execution services globally. The forum was designed to look like a legitimate business. It had customer reviews. It had pricing tiers. It had escrow services. Behind that username was Faron Cordrey, executing directives directly sanctioned by Gabbie Gonzalez. The FBI watched as LizardKing69 created a profile. They watched as he browsed the available services. They watched as he selected a hitman. They watched as he uploaded Jack Avery's information. Every click. Every keystroke. Every message. All of it was being archived in real time. In April 2021, the infrastructure of the plot required immediate capital. The dark web administrators did not accept standard credit routing or banking wires. They required untraceable, decentralized currency. They required Bitcoin. And that is where the father stepped directly into the crosshairs of a federal indictment. Francisco Gonzalez spent decades standing in courtrooms, arguing before judges, and defending civil law. Yet behind closed doors, he was using his corporate legal infrastructure to wash cash that was destined for an underground execution network. The financial trail is damning. The initial payment was routed through multiple cryptocurrency exchanges to obfuscate its origin. The funds were converted to Bitcoin. The Bitcoin was transferred to an escrow wallet controlled by the dark web marketplace. All of this was captured by FBI monitors. Once the Bitcoin wallet was funded, LizardKing69 submitted the formal contract parameters to the dark web administrator. The digital file contained Jack Avery's full legal name, his physical description, his professional tour history, and a specific Woodland Hills residential address in Los Angeles County. The contract was detailed. It specified that the target should be eliminated within 30 days. It specified that the method of elimination should be whatever was easiest, with a strong preference for an accident. It specified that proof of death should include a photograph and a physical token. That physical token was the victim's left pinky finger. Think about that detail. The conspirators did not just want Jack Avery dead. They wanted proof. They wanted a trophy. They wanted to see his severed finger as confirmation that their payment was well spent. The initial directive was chillingly blunt. The user stated that the target needed to be liquidated, and that the execution should be carried out by whatever method was easiest, with a strong preference to make the death appear entirely accidental. But the dark web is a hall of mirrors. And the Gonzalez family was about to find out that anonymity goes both ways. The forum they trusted was not secure. The escrow service they used was not legitimate. The hitman they hired was not a killer. The entire operation was a federal sting. And the FBI had been watching every single move they made. The family court filings between Gabbie Gonzalez and Jack Avery spanned over 200 pages. They included accusations of parental alienation, claims of unsafe environments, counterclaims of harassment, and multiple requests for emergency hearings. The court appointed a guardian ad litem to represent the interests of their daughter. That guardian interviewed both parents, spoke with teachers, reviewed medical records, and submitted a 40-page report to the judge. The guardian's conclusion was clear. Both parents loved their daughter. Both parents were capable of providing a safe environment. The best interest of the child was to have a relationship with both parents. The judge agreed. Joint custody was ordered. A parenting plan was established. A schedule was set. But the Gonzalez family did not accept this ruling. They filed motion after motion. They requested a new judge. They requested a new guardian. They requested a new evaluation. Each motion was denied. Each denial cost them legal fees. Each denial increased their frustration. And that frustration eventually curdled into a murder plot. What Gabbie Gonzalez and her father did not know was that the dark web marketplace they were using was a ghost setup. It was not run by an underground syndicate. The server was being completely monitored, cataloged, and archived by the FBI's cyber division in Quantico, Virginia. The dark web is not what most people think it is. It is not a lawless wasteland where criminals operate with impunity. It is a network of encrypted websites that require special software to access. Law enforcement has been infiltrating these networks for years. The FBI has entire teams dedicated to monitoring dark web marketplaces. They set up fake sites. They pose as vendors. They track transactions. They identify users. The marketplace that the Gonzalez family used was one of these fake sites. It was designed to attract people looking to hire hitmen. The site looked legitimate. It had customer reviews. It had a FAQ section. It had an escrow service. But every single person who visited the site was being tracked. Every single message was being read. Every single payment was being traced. Every message sent by Lizard King 69, every transfer of Bitcoin, and every uploaded photo of Jack Avery was being downloaded in real time by federal tracking units. The FBI had a dedicated team watching the Gonzalez conspiracy unfold. By June 2021, the conspiracy hit a massive roadblock. The dark web site administrator informed Cordrey that the initial $10,000 bounty was insufficient due to the target's public profile and security posture. Jack Avery was a celebrity. He had security. He had fans. He had a public profile that made him harder to target. The administrator demanded an additional premium to move the operation to an active deployment phase. They needed more money. They needed more time. They needed more resources. Instead of backing down, instead of letting the system of sanity reset, the conspirators doubled down. Court documents show that Cordrey returned to Francisco Gonzalez, requesting more capital. A second transaction of $4,000 was authorized and pushed through the digital system. Within 48 hours, Lizard King 69 uploaded the confirmation to the administrator, stating that he had successfully transferred $4,000 more into the escrow wallet. The total amount was now $14,000. $10,000 for the initial contract. $4,000 for the premium upgrade. Then came the text message that sealed their legal fate. Feeling the pressure of an upcoming family court custody hearing in Los Angeles, Cordrey typed a direct message to the administrator. He stated, quote, "The job needs to be completed within the next 2 days. It doesn't need to be done in any special way. Just get it done." This is the exact fracture point where the solicitation became an active, operational attempt on a human life. The FBI realized that the threat to Jack Avery was no longer theoretical. It was immediate. It was real. It was imminent. In September 2021, a specialized federal operational group initiated a counterattack sting. An undercover FBI agent, operating under deep tactical cover, took over the digital identity of the marketplace hitman. The undercover agent established a direct encrypted line with Cordrey. Over the course of multiple recorded interactions, the agent forced Cordrey to verify the target parameters. The agent asked for explicit confirmation. Who wants this done? Who is authorizing the payment? Who is the beneficiary of this contract? Cordrey's recorded responses were definitive. He explicitly stated to the undercover agent that Avery's ex-girlfriend, Gabbie Gonzalez, wanted the job finalized immediately, and that her father, Francisco, was fully aware of the operational expense and possessed the capital to pay out the remaining contract balance upon confirmation of death. The undercover agent recorded every word of these conversations. The recordings would later be played for a grand jury. The grand jury would later issue indictments. But the federal agents needed to ensure that the attorney himself was directly tied to the final execution phase. They required a signature. They required something that could not be explained away as a misunderstanding. And Francisco Gonzalez gave it to them. The indictment reveals that during the final validation sequence, the undercover operative required a specific, custom encryption password to release the digital escrow funds. This was a test. It was designed to ensure that the person authorizing the payment was aware of what they were doing. Francisco Gonzalez personally transmitted that security code to the operative, thinking he was confirming the erasure of Jack Avery. He did not realize he was signing his own federal arrest warrant. The dark web marketplace they trusted was a trap. The hitman they hired was a federal agent. The Bitcoin they laundered was tracked. And every single word they typed was archived in a federal database that would eventually be read aloud in a courtroom. The FBI had them. And they had no idea. The dark web marketplace that the Gonzalez family used was called Besa Mafia. It was one of several hitman-for-hire sites that the FBI had been monitoring for years. The site claimed to have operatives in every major city. It claimed to have a success rate of over 90%. It claimed to have completed over 500 contracts. None of these claims were true. The site was operated entirely by federal agents. The hitmen were undercover operatives. The customer reviews were written by the FBI. The success stories were fabricated. Every person who visited the site was logged. Every person who created an account was tracked. Every person who submitted a contract was investigated. The Gonzalez family was not the first to fall for this trap. They would not be the last. For nearly 5 years, this investigation remained completely hidden from the public eye. The FBI was running a long-term tactical envelope around the suspects, tracking their communications, monitoring their financial movements, and ensuring Jack Avery's absolute physical safety behind the scenes. The agents working this case were patient. They knew that the best way to secure a conviction was to let the conspirators incriminate themselves. So they watched. They waited. They recorded. In September 2021, federal agents actually showed up at Jack Avery's doorstep in Los Angeles. They sat him down and dropped a psychological bomb. They informed him that an active dark web bounty had been placed on his life, and that being in close proximity to his ex-girlfriend represented an immediate threat to his survival. Think about the psychological horror Jack Avery had to live with from that moment forward. He knew someone wanted him dead. But to protect the integrity of the active federal sting operation, the FBI could not disclose who the masterminds were. For years, Avery had to continue navigating family court proceedings, sitting across from Gabbie Gonzalez, watching her smile for her lifestyle vlogs, and praising her publicly in interviews for being a good mother to their daughter. He was completely unaware that the woman across the table was the primary architect of his targeted assassination. Imagine that nightmare. Sitting across from someone who has paid to have you killed. Smiling for the cameras. Pretending everything is normal. All while federal agents watch from the shadows. The forensic audit of the financial transactions tells a damning story. The initial $10,000 payment was routed through a series of cryptocurrency exchanges designed to obfuscate the origin of the funds. The second payment of $4,000 followed the same path. Francisco Gonzalez did not use cash. He did not use a personal check. He did not use a wire transfer. He used his corporate legal infrastructure to mask the payments as web development and search engine optimization invoices tied to Cordrey's digital consulting business, Site Whisperer. The invoices were fake. The services were never rendered. The money was never used for web development. It was used to pay a hitman to kill Jack Avery. Think about the sheer cognitive dissonance required for a licensed officer of the court to authorize a transaction like that. Francisco Gonzalez spent decades defending the law. He argued before judges. He represented clients in civil disputes. He knew exactly what money laundering was. He knew exactly what conspiracy to commit murder was. He knew the penalties. He knew the risks. He knew that he could spend the rest of his life in prison. And he did it anyway. The indictment also reveals a series of encrypted communications between Gabbie Gonzalez and Cordrey. In these messages, Gabbie expressed frustration with the pace of the plot. She asked why the hitman had not yet completed the job. She asked for updates on the timeline. She asked for confirmation that Jack Avery would not survive the month. These messages were recovered from her phone after her arrest. They had not been deleted. She thought she was untouchable. She thought that her fame, her father's money, and her carefully curated public image would protect her. She was wrong. The federal case against the Gonzalez family is built on 3 pillars. First, the financial forensics showing the Bitcoin transfers masked as business expenses. Second, the encrypted communications between the co-conspirators discussing the plot in detail. Third, the testimony of the undercover FBI agent who posed as the hitman and recorded Cordrey and Francisco Gonzalez authorizing the execution. The evidence is overwhelming. The case is airtight. And the sentencing will likely be severe. If convicted under California penal codes, all 3 co-conspirators face a definitive maximum sentence of 25 years to life in a state penitentiary. The digital empire built on lifestyle filters had officially met the raw, unyielding reality of federal forensics. The FBI does not care about TikTok followers. The FBI does not care about Instagram aesthetics. The FBI does not care about how many likes your posts get. The FBI cares about evidence. And they had mountains of it. In mid-May 2026, the trap finally slammed shut. The grand jury handed down formal indictments, charging Gabriela Gonzalez, Francisco Gonzalez, and Faron Cordrey each with 1 count of premeditated attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and solicitation of murder. The indictments were sealed to prevent the suspects from fleeing. But the FBI was already watching. They knew where everyone was. They knew what everyone was doing. They knew when to strike. Federal agents had been tracking Gabbie Gonzalez's movements for weeks. They knew her travel schedule. They knew her routines. They knew exactly when and where to arrest her. On the day of her arrest, Gabbie Gonzalez believed she was executing a normal travel schedule. She was standing inside the small Arcadia Airport terminal in Humboldt County, California, preparing to board a flight. She was likely checking her TikTok metrics, looking at her comments, and managing her digital image. She did not see the federal tactical team moving through the glass doors. The agents moved quickly. They surrounded her. They identified themselves. They placed her in handcuffs. She was arrested on the spot, stripped of her communication devices, and placed into maximum security transit. Her phone was seized. Her social media accounts were frozen. Her digital empire was shut down in an instant. Her followers would soon learn that their favorite influencer was not on a content break. She was in federal custody. Simultaneously, over 2,000 miles away in the elite enclave of Seminole County, Florida, a combined force of federal agents and local deputies swarmed the luxury estate of Francisco Gonzalez. They arrived at dawn. They surrounded the property. They knocked on the door. Francisco Gonzalez answered, probably still in his pajamas, probably thinking it was a neighbor or a delivery driver. It was neither. They arrested the prominent trial attorney before he could mount a corporate exit strategy. They took him into custody. They searched his home. They seized his computers, his phones, and his financial records. His neighbors watched in disbelief as the man who had lived among them for years was led out of his home in handcuffs. The man who had represented clients in courtrooms across Florida was now being processed into a federal detention center. On Tuesday, May 19, 2026, the file went completely public. News outlets around the world picked up the story. TikTok influencer arrested for dark web murder plot. The headlines wrote themselves. Gabbie Gonzalez was escorted into a downtown Los Angeles courtroom by sheriff's deputies. The woman who built an empire on clean aesthetics and perfect motherhood was now wearing a prison-issue jumpsuit, her hands bound by steel chains. The prosecution stood before Los Angeles Superior Court judge and detailed the multi-year dark web matrix. They argued that the defendants posed an extreme, lethal risk to society. They presented evidence of the Bitcoin transfers. They presented evidence of the dark web messages. They presented evidence of the contract. The judge listened carefully. Then he made his ruling. He agreed with the prosecution. He set a massive $2 million bail for each of the co-conspirators. The amount was so high that it was effectively a denial of bail. None of them could afford to pay it. The judge also issued an absolute protective order barring Gabbie from ever making contact with Jack Avery or her daughter again. She cannot call. She cannot text. She cannot send a letter. She cannot have anyone else contact them on her behalf. As Francisco Gonzalez awaits formal extradition from his Florida cell to face the California justice system, the legal community is left in a state of absolute shock. A prominent attorney who once defended the law is now charged with conspiring to break it in the most violent way imaginable. His legal career is over. His reputation is destroyed. His family is shattered. His law firm has dissolved. His partners have distanced themselves. His clients have fled. And the digital empire that Gabbie Gonzalez spent years building has been permanently deleted from the platforms that once celebrated her. Her TikTok account is gone. Her Instagram is gone. Her carefully curated brand is gone. The fall was fast. The fall was absolute. And the fall was entirely self-inflicted. They could have walked away. They could have accepted the court's ruling. They could have co-parented peacefully. They could have saved themselves years of legal agony and millions of dollars in legal fees. Instead, they chose the dark web. They chose Bitcoin. They chose a hitman. And now they are choosing between prison jumpsuits. The arrest of Gabbie Gonzalez at Arcadia Rica Airport was captured on body camera footage. The footage shows agents approaching her gate. It shows them waiting for her to stand up. It shows them placing her in handcuffs as other passengers watched. One passenger recorded the arrest on their phone. The video quickly went viral. It showed Gabbie Gonzalez, the TikTok influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers, being led away in handcuffs. She did not resist. She did not speak. She simply walked. The agents escorted her to a private room where they searched her bags. They found her phone, her tablet, and her laptop. All were seized as evidence. She was then transported to the Humboldt County Detention Facility. She was processed. She was photographed. She was fingerprinted. The mugshot was released to the media. It showed a woman who looked nothing like the polished influencer on TikTok. Her hair was disheveled. Her eyes were red. Her expression was blank. The fall from grace was complete. When the court file was unsealed on Tuesday, May 19, 2026, it did not just expose a criminal plot. It permanently shattered a digital illusion. For years, hundreds of thousands of people watched Gabbie Gonzalez's content for inspiration. They saw a young, independent woman crafting a beautiful, organic life for her daughter. They left comments praising her strength. They bought the brands she endorsed. They believed the aesthetic. But the forensics of this indictment have laid bare a terrifying, modern reality. In the digital age, a human being can curate an empire of light while actively financing an architecture of pure darkness. Gabbie Gonzalez used her daughter as an engine for digital engagement, all while her father was signing off on thousands of dollars in Bitcoin to ensure that child would never see her father alive again. The cognitive dissonance is staggering. She posted videos of herself and her daughter laughing. She posted photos of their vacations. She wrote captions about the importance of family. And all the while, she was coordinating with her father and her boyfriend to have her daughter's father murdered. Let's audit the immediate, breaking fallout of this arrest. First, the custody shift. Following the filing of the criminal complaints, family court judges in Los Angeles executed an emergency intervention. The joint custody arrangement that the Gonzalez family spent 5 years trying to destroy was permanently terminated in a matter of minutes. Jack Avery was granted sole, exclusive physical, and legal custody of his 7-year-old daughter. The protective order issued by the court is absolute. Gabbie Gonzalez is legally barred from ever making contact with her child or Avery again, forced to remain at least 100 yards away if she ever secures release. The daughter is now in the custody of the man they tried to kill. Second, look at the psychological trauma. TMZ broke a massive update just days ago on May 26, 2026. Jack Avery has officially packed up his life and fled the city of Los Angeles entirely. Sources close to the singer state that after the FBI unsealed the file, Avery realized the sheer scope of the danger he had been living under. Think about the psychological horror. For nearly 5 years, Avery was navigating custody drop-offs, sitting across from Gabbie, looking at her father Francisco, completely unaware that the money they were using to fight him in court was the exact same pool of capital being offered to a dark web executioner. He did not feel safe in the city anymore. He took his daughter, vanished from the West Coast, and went into a highly secured, private location. The location has not been disclosed. The public does not know where he is. The man survived a multi-year assassination plot, but the echo of that trauma will shadow his footsteps for the rest of his life. He will never fully trust another custody arrangement. He will never fully trust the mother of his child. He will never fully trust that he is safe. Finally, we look at the legal reality. Francisco Gonzalez remains behind bars in Florida, fighting extradition to California. His legal team has filed multiple motions to delay the transfer. They argue that he is not a flight risk. They argue that he has strong ties to the community. They argue that he should be released on his own recognizance. The judge has denied every motion. His career as an elite civil attorney is completely over. His name has been removed from legal circles. The Florida bar is investigating his license. He will likely be disbarred. Faron Cordrey, the man who thought his Lizard King 69 username gave him the power of life and death, is sitting in a federal detention center, realizing that every keystroke he made on the Tor network was archived by the United States' top cyber agents. His web development business is gone. His reputation is destroyed. His future is behind bars. If convicted under California State Penal Code, all three co-conspirators face a mandatory maximum sentence of 25 years to life in a state penitentiary. There are no filters that can hide that reality. There are no edits that can clean up a federal indictment. There are no TikTok dances that can distract from a conviction. The murder-for-hire plot against Jack Avery is a stark, chilling reminder for the year 2026. It proves that the most dangerous predators do not always look like monsters. Sometimes, they look like an influencer on your feed. Sometimes, they look like a prominent attorney in a tailored suit. And sometimes, the clean aesthetic you are scrolling past is just a cover story for a crime of total erasure. What stands out to you the most about the Gabbie Gonzalez dark web sting? Was it the $14,000 in disguised payments from her father? Was it the fact that Jack Avery had to live beside his potential killer for 5 years? Was it the pinky finger request from the Hitman contract? Was it the realization that the FBI had been watching the entire time, letting the conspirators dig their own graves? Let's analyze the criminal complaints together in the comments below. I read every single comment. I track every theory. I will pin the most insightful analysis to the top of the comment section. Subscribe to Heartbreak Homicides Solved for more feature-length forensic documentaries. We audit the raw, unyielding truth, one fracture at a time. We have more cases coming. Corey Richens. The smiling widow who wrote a children's book after poisoning her husband. The sons who testified against her. The judge who called her too dangerous to ever be free. That case is already scripted. It is ready to record. It will be released soon. But for now, this is the story of Gabbie Gonzalez. The influencer who tried to hire a hitman. The father who signed off on murder. The boyfriend who typed the messages. They are all in jail. They will likely die there. Stay safe out there. I am Liz. This has been solved and echoed. The file is closed. But the echoes remain. The daughter is safe. The father is free. The killers are behind bars. Justice was served. The Gabbie Gonzalez case has sparked a national conversation about the dangers of dark web hitman services. Law enforcement officials have confirmed that the vast majority of these sites are operated by federal agents. They are traps designed to catch people who are desperate enough to hire a killer. The FBI has issued a public warning. If you search for a hitman on the dark web, you will not find a killer. You will find us. The Gonzalez family learned this lesson the hard way. They spent $14,000. They spent 5 years planning. They spent countless hours communicating with what they thought was a professional assassin. They were talking to the FBI the entire time. The agents who worked this case have been commended for their patience. They watched as the conspiracy unfolded. They recorded every message. They documented every payment. They built a case that is virtually unassailable. The Gonzalez family will likely spend the rest of their lives in prison. Their daughter will grow up without her mother. Their family name will be forever associated with a murder plot. All because they could not accept a custody ruling. Stay safe out there. I am Liz. This has been solved and echoed.